Hello, my name is Jordan Baulkham. This is mine and Hyerin Hong's project for Assignment 2, which is a virtual PD session in EDSE 307. For our virtual PD session, we have decided to focus our attention towards word detective and how we can use the graphic organizer to build academic vocabulary for ELL students in English second language classes. Through this screencast, we intend to cover what is word detective, how we can use it, what is the purpose of academic vocabulary, and how we can possibly implement strategies to build academic vocabulary for students using this graphic organizer.
Word Detective is one of many graphic organizers to help students learn and interact with new words. It explores a word by finding bits of information within the context to formulate a personal definition. It is helpful for building academic vocabulary, verbal, visual, and logical learning, as well as formative assessment in the classroom. Word Detective graphic organizer can have different design and layout. It is flexible as long as the category choices match the language level of the student and enhances learners' understanding of the word. The table displays categories that are usually found within a Word Detective graphic organizer. Within this graphic organizer, the students are referred to as the detectives. Category word is a word to explore, and the students must find its parts of speech. Under the sentence where I found the word, students must write the full sentence including the word, and using the context clues, they analyze the context to find more information related to the word. Some context clues that the students can look for are punctuation marks and certain keywords. Punctuation marks like a comma or a hyphen usually means there are other words related to the word. Keywords like or that is usually followed by the definition of the word. Context clue also includes synonym, antonym, definitions, examples, cause and effects, and analogy. Going back to the table, the category My Own Sentence is where the students incorporate the word into a new sentence, while My Own Definition is where the students define it in their own words. For example, the word enormous can be rewritten as large, gigantic, really big, or incredibly overwhelming. Lastly, a picture that reminds me of what this word means to me is a fun section where the students can draw anything that could define the word. These three categories give the students some room for creativity to turn an unknown word into their own. This component is critical in learning academic vocabulary. Robert Marzano is one of the key spokesperson in education and the building of academic vocabulary.
As stated by the Marzano Research website, Robert J. Marzano, PhD, is co-founder and CEO of Marzano Research in Colorado. A leading researcher in education, he is a speaker, trainer, and author of more than 30 books and 150 articles. In the following video, here are 6 steps for teaching new vocabulary terms as stated by Robert J. Marzano. Words that are considered a part of the academic vocabulary variety are traditionally used in academic dialogue and text. This means that the language typically found in textbooks, lectures, academic essays, etc. are considered a part of academic vocabulary. These would be words like correspond and foreshadow, for example. One difficulty is that it is fairly uncommon to use academic vocabulary in social contexts, so the learning of these words are difficult for students learning the English language. For example, it is more likely for a person to use words like good and tasty to describe how their food tastes rather than using words like magnificent and delightful. This results in ELL students retaining the first, easier words rather than the latter, as they are more familiar to them. So, what is the purpose of building academic vocabulary in ELL classrooms? There are several reasons for building academic vocabulary. One of them is that it helps ELL students understand course material like textbooks or novels. By studying academic language, it allows ELL students to understand the purpose of higher academic material and it will support their learning. If these students are able to understand higher academic material, it allows students to succeed in the Canadian education system and will eventually help students to get admitted into post secondary institutions. Also, by building academic vocabulary, it helps students learn English the technical way rather than learning it from peers in an unstructured manner. So this activity is called Detective Notebooks, which is an activity you can use with ELL students in an English class. This activity involves students having a list of suspects per se, or difficult words that the students find when they read. After the list is created, two students or detectives will pick two words from the list and brief the words to the rest of the class. Using either one of these graphic organizers shown here, the students will present their words to the class along with several different portions. As the detectives present, the other students write down what they have said in their detective notebooks. Students are encouraged to ask about these suspects. Anyways, as you can see, there are two templates, one on the right and one on the left. So let's take this into a context of how you use this in a classroom. So let's just say the difficult word was velocity. The part of speech would be a noun. The definition would be there. The synonyms, speed, pace, momentum. The antonyms, block, delay, and slowing. And the use of the word in a sentence. As you can see, the left one is very similar to the right, but it has a little more detail to it. So once again, the word is velocity, but this time you have where the word was found, where the student found this word. Also, you have context clues. Once again, the part of speech, the word in the student's own sentence, their own definition, and also, which is not included in the right template, a picture to associate the word with. So now, every time the student looks at it, they're going to associate cheetah, velocity, and hence remember the word.
You can find the graphic organizers in the links provided. Thank you for listening, and we hope that the PD session was helpful to you.